Pretty soon. Alhamdulillah, it's there. Let me see Zoom. Well, now, okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So it is interesting to study the story of Adam in the Qur'an, but there is a big part. Let me get rid of all this. Where is our old stuff? Chrome. Here we go. Inshallah. So when we read the stories of the prophets in the Quran, we usually see that the events happened in the past. And Allah is narrating it to us to get some lesson from it. But in fact, not only getting a lesson, we can just really take the story into my own real life. I see that the Quran is fundamentally a study of or analysis of human psychology. You know, what is going on within me? In every prophetic story, what we see, what is going on within me, even it may seem to be that, look, in the story of Adam and in the story of Adam and Pharaoh, it seems that I'm not the Pharaoh, am I? Can anybody say that I am Pharaoh? It means really denying God, Allah, totally, and saying that I am God, I am your Lord. No, I'm not doing that. But if we really pay attention to it, we have to ask this question: why Allah tells me what happened in the story of Adam, or let's go back to famous story, Musa and Pharaoh. Why does it tell me? Did you wonder, anyone? No? Sorry? No, it is in human side. You know, of course, definitely, you know, Pharaoh was a human being, wasn't it? But he had some sides within himself that declared to be God. I mean, in the Quran, sometimes he said, I am your Ilah, your God, and sometimes he said, I'm your Lord. There is only one Lord that is known to me, it is me, nobody else. We have this quality. So in the story of Adam as well, Iblis will be there, angels will be there, and also the scenario, if you like, presented to us in the Quran, Allah is speaking to angels, to Adam, to Iblis, as if you and I are speaking to each other. But of course, it is the way how the case is presented to us, because the definition of there are many very interesting definitions of the Quran, without which, if we didn't know the definition of the Quran, when we read it, it doesn't make sense to us. As the story, what shall I do with the story? Because those people who study the Quran, it's right here. So he's the guy who's keeping always busy himself with the Quran. I appreciate him. So when you study the Quran, you will inevitably notice that Quran is the speech of my creator, the creator of the universe, but speaking to me. So any wise teacher will speak to the people at the level according to their capacity. For example, if someone comes here and I don't know whether anybody is really specialized in physics, directly talks about physics on top level of knowledge and uses lots of figures, symbols here, everybody will say, what is he talking about? So when Allah speaks in the Quran, he doesn't speak according to his capacity, although it is coming from his capacity, but it goes down, which is called in Islamic literature, Tanazzulatul Ilahiyya. It means coming down, in the simple translation. Coming down to the level of the addressee, human beings. Speaking according to my capacity. Another definition of the Quran is, it is coming from the absolutely knowledgeable one, limitless knowledge, knows from the beginning to the end at once, because he is the creator of the whole universe, must know what he has created, is creating, and is going to create. So it is coming from the absolute knowledge. Capacity-wise, it has no limit in his knowledge, but speaking to me according to my level. So if I increase my level a little bit, I will get the meaning deeper. A bit more, even deeper. So it means we have to read the Quran, study the Quran, maybe, of course, like any other textbook. How do we study it? Under some teachers, don't we? That's why we go to school. But still, the teacher also tells me about the textbook at my level. So we have to know this. This is the real case in our life, and my Creator knows my capacity. My Creator speaks to me according to my capacity, but of course, he speaks to me within his own capacity. This seems to be a bit contradictory. If you think, he has, for example, a very high level in any science discipline, let's say physics, he knows, but he comes to us and looks at us. These people are secondary school students. So I have to present it according to their capacity. Secondary school students, but with one exception. This exception is the way the Quran speaks. If definitely some of you are interested in the rhetorical, grammatic structure of the Quran, you understand that the more you get closer to the Quran, the more you get knowledge of the Quran, the better you understand, and you can get deeper meaning, because the grammatic structure is beyond human capacity. No one can present the case in such a way that at the same time primary school students will understand from it, but at the same time PhD students will understand from it. Capacity-wise, but everybody can get it at his own level. That is why we should not be frustrated saying, I don't know Arabic. Okay, that's why I don't know how to read the Quran, but I'm reading only the translations. All right. Can you not get anything? Definitely you can. General information, general presentation of the Quran. What is it talking about, you get the answer. But once or twice, and we know that 3 times, and go into the deeper, and also study the Arabic grammar and rhetorics. You know, every literature has its rhetoric. If you know only the grammar of the book, you know, you have to know the idioms, expressions, lots of things, right? So it takes time, but we should never be frustrated. Now, let's come to our subject, this adventure of human life. I said the prophet of Adam, the story of the prophet Adam in the Quran, but this is in fact must be taken as an adventure of human life, according to my capacity, how much I can benefit from it. So if you have any questions so far, I will be happy to, you know, discuss it with you. Question or comments? Anything not clear? That is why we have to read I wanted to present a base for it. Why we should read the Quran in such a way that I can benefit from it, even the stories mentioned there. Did you notice that directly related ancient prophets stories in the Quran makes 1/3 of the Quran? Lots of prophetic stories. And if we read what happened during the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, alayhi salatu wassalam. So what happened in his life? Also, lots of events are narrated what happened during the life of the Prophet. If you included it, half of the Quran is prophetic stories. Of course, this is an approximation, not precise, not 50%, not 55%, no, approximation. So it is very important to know how we should read the stories of the prophets mentioned in the Quran, so that we will benefit from it. We have been continuing this halaqah in NYU for I don't know, beginning of the semester about this subject. I mean, I have been here organizing the halaqahs for 14 years in NYU. This building wasn't yet when we started it. We were in a basement of a church. So, alhamdulillah, Imam Khalid is a wonderful man. He managed everything. So, alhamdulillah. So he got this place from the NYU. Okay. So I wanted to discuss this matter on an example, giving an example from the Quran. And the first man on earth, the first prophet on earth, it's interesting. First man was a first prophet. Now, it is very interesting because a man is created without a prophetic message. What do you think? No meaning. So he carried on. Lots of prophets are mentioned there. So the first man is introduced in such an amazing way that I am admiring the Quran in this sense, so we can really understand what our reality is. So I will go very quickly about this first ayah, verse in the Quran. إِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. The angels, because angels are responding back to Allah, saying that إِتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيُسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ. As if, look at, of course, as if they are opposing God's idea of appointing a successor on earth. No, but of course, that is how the dialogue goes on, isn't it? For example, in fables, in other type of literature. So what do they say? For example, a frog said to the, I don't know, bird, and bird said, is it? No. The point is they are the author is teaching us something. So these are what's happening. So does God have to give an account to angels? Angels are created by God. But of course, it is telling me so that I will understand from this presentation. So I'm putting a successor on earth. Okay. They said, I'm not going into details because we went through it earlier on. They said, how can you put someone on someone there who will cause corruption and bloodshed? It's quite interesting. What is this bloodshed? What is this bloodshed? Killing people, isn't it? That's correct. We kill people, don't we? But at the same time, not everybody kills people. So what does it mean for me? Sit down. Isn't that okay? Oh, this doesn't work, isn't it? I
You
mean,
can keep talking.
for here, for the moment, when it gets crowded,
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on you. So
All right.
Is that-
so it's better.
yeah, is that fine?
Anyway, you think, all right.
Sorry, sir.
Without Khalid, Imam Khalid, we can't do nothing. So, oh,
Is it uncomfortable?
okay, let's see. Oh, thank you, Jazakumullah. Thank you very much. So, I shouldn't shout then. It's good. It helps me now. Yeah. The bloodshed, corruption and bloodshed. We corrupt. We do all sorts of wrong things, don't we? No one can say that, no, I never did anything wrong. No, we do it. But bloodshed seems to be very interesting for me. Killing somebody, what does it mean, killing somebody? A living being, when he is killed, then he loses his life and his body becomes not a human being anymore, meaningless, right? His body becomes meaningless. And then what we do when a person is died, we put his body into the grave, under the earth. That's it. We don't have anything to do with it anymore. Meaningless to keep it. Do we understand this? Because we are going to make an interesting step here. Very interesting step. What do we do? For example, if I ask people here, then have you ever killed anyone? No. Can you say that this verse is not related to me? But the Quran says, I am speaking to you. You have a tendency, you can kill somebody, but at the same time turn something or somebody meaningless and make it just a corpse, which means no point. Now, what's going on nowadays in the world? Apart from wars, yes, it's taking place, but at the same time, in the, if you like, understanding of the world, life, what some people teach us, the universe is meaningless. Matter has no purpose. It happened to be like this by itself. There is no conscious creator. What did they do? They killed the universe, made it meaningless God. Does it make sense? Oh, we have to be very careful. If I say, oh, there is a bird flying here, but it has no real meaning. It happened to be evolved in this way. And I'm not going to learn anything from its creation. And in itself, it doesn't really reflect anything but itself. Matter is matter. But it happened to be, in the course of time, an alive, living matter, because it evolved itself. Am I going to learn anything from it? No. What do we do? When we study the universe, what do? We study it in order to benefit. I call it exploit it. For what? For my benefit. But not for my spirit, for my feelings, for my consciousness. No, I don't. What I do, how can I make computer so that I can communicate with you? But the meaning of existence is completely, you are all, at least university students, if not graduates. What did you learn in your science classes? Science, physics, chemistry, biology. What did you learn? How this works? What is the meaning in their existence? Killed, meaningless. Did they say, when I look at a bird, I see wonderful creation, wonderful things are going on there. When I look at it, it speaks to me about what? The qualities of its maker. Demonstrates it. Everything. When I even look at this table, it's quite old, not as old as I am. I am older than this. So when I look at it, it tells me which kind of designer he is or she is. Not necessarily the personality of it, but the qualities of the designer. We will study later on, inshallah, next week, following weeks, maybe this week, if it is in the line waiting for us. The Qur'an says, everything in the world declares God's qualities. It means Asma'ul Husna in the language of the Qur'an, beautiful names. What does it mean, beautiful names? I see. If you see any creation, whatever it is, you can look at the galaxies, you can look at animals and human beings, or even an, fly. When you look at the fly, what do you see? It is much, much, immeasurably more sophisticated than the airplane, because it is living, it is growing, it is taking care of its babies. It is interesting. It is taking care of its babies, but the airplane is dumb. Only shows the qualities of its engineers, but if you are, have you ever flight on an airplane? Yeah. Have you ever thought that what a wonderful engineer was it? So you could just say, but it is static, isn't it? It moves, but it doesn't grow, it doesn't die, but it gets old. So it's not alive. But everything in the world communicates to us, conveying the qualities of its maker. So materialist approach or analysis of the word, matter, or anything, doesn't convey anything. Have you ever read anything saying that what a wonderful star is it? Who made it? Can it happen by itself? They say, no, it happened by itself accidentally, isn't it? Or random developments, improvements. So we have a quality, or one side of it may turn everything into dead matter. Doesn't mean anything, doesn't convey any message to me. So angels say, look, in the Quranic explanation, the angels are represented to us as the ones who receives usually the amr it's a Quranic word. Amr is used command, but what God willed to exist in the form of created being, angel receives it and turns it into a created being. Everything comes from from God's will, Allah's will, transferred into created form, like this, you and me, as a result of this agent, angels. But angels say, we glorify God, tasbih. Angels say we glorify God. What does it mean? I mean, Quran is a serious book. We have to really take it seriously and think about it. So what does it mean? The way they bring and demonstrate it into a created form, human beings can perceive it, and what they see, manifested qualities of its maker. They announce it to us. They announce it. It means they declare, like this machine here. In fact, if I pay attention to it, it is really telling me which kind of engineer the maker was, which kind of qualities it had. It has. So depending on my intention, if I try to understand the qualities of the maker of the computer, and me programming also in it, I have to look at it from this perspective. But what we usually do for practical reasons, it works in this way. I'm using it. I don't really see the qualities manifested in the computer, but it is the computer itself. It declares it, but because I don't pay attention to it, I don't take notice of it. When if something goes, I question, oh, which kind of engineer was it? So complaining is easy for us. But normally we are expected to see the creation as nothing but announcements, declarations of the qualities of its maker. That is what the angels represent according to the teachings of the Quran, which is very amazing to understand this. So we see that if we ignore it, if we don't pay attention, well, for example, let's say, wonderful food seems to be, it's very exciting. Smell also wonderful. So let's put the time forward, get the iftar time earlier. So wonderful food. What are they doing? They are declaring the qualities in their existence. So we have to pay attention to this side rather than saying that it is just food. Maybe it is very dangerous, actually, to say that, who made it? Oh, this restaurant prepared it. But the creation of the food, material, and everything, even to cook the fire, the creation of fire also, Allah's work. if you like. He creates it. So they cannot create it. No one can create anything. But also we say the production produced in, I don't know, in the United States, in Spain or Italy, somewhere there. But in fact, they are created there. The farmers are not creators of the produce. We all know that. But do we see that who is creating them? And how can I know him? Because we don't see anybody doing anything manually, physically. So how do I know him? I can investigate. I can look at the way it is coming into existence. I can look at the way it is being created, brought into existence. So when we are interacting with anything of this universe, what we should do, pay attention how they are coming into existence and which kind of qualities manifested in their existence. So through these qualities, only through these qualities, we can know the Creator. Otherwise, how can I know? How can I know? Even looking at the whole universe and saying that, oh, it's a wonderful thing, impossible to explain that it happened by itself. So therefore, there must be a creator. Who is this creator? I don't know. There must be a creator. That is the beginning of belief in God, but only the beginning. Afterwards, we have to investigate which kind of creator he is. So how can I know which kind of creator he is? Only by examining the qualities manifested in the work he performed in front of me. If someone comes and tells you that I am the most famous and perfect, let's say, architect, or maybe more practical example, painter. It's very practical example. So, do you believe in it? I said, I am the best painter in the world. Do you believe in it? I don't know. It doesn't matter that the best painter in the world doesn't write here. So how can you believe and confirm that this person's claim is really correct? Anyone? Tell me. It's easy, isn't it? It's not a very complicated answer. Sorry? He does it and said, this is my painting. Here is my signature on it. Oh, doesn't you understand and believe in it? That is how we should believe in Allah. We cannot say there is only, there must be a creator of this universe. That is good. That is correct, but this is just a beginning. So we have to investigate how, as our friend said here, look at the work. When you see the work he performs, you believe and you confirm. That's my classical example is very simple and practical. You have a problem, a plumbing problem or electrical problem in your house, and you call somebody who says, I am the electrician. You said, okay. Only after he does the job, performs it, what do you see? When you see it, you say, oh, it is the really talented electrician. Isn't the practical way of experiencing this world and our life? So what we do here, there must be a creator, correct? And this creator must present his work. Isn't that so simple? And I have to see the work he performed and then see the quality in his work, so I will understand. Now, when you study the universe, in any part of the universe, which kind of qualities you can see? Let's go back to our very simple, although it's not a pleasant example. Now, a fly example. When you look at a fly, what you see, in order to be able to create this fly, you have to be an amazing engineer. Why? You have to know air, gravity, air's quality too. And everything is adjusted perfectly and with the best form, with the best balance. So it knows how to feed itself. It knows how to really protect its life. If you want to catch it, it's quicker than you. So it is talented in many ways, but matter cannot be the source of these qualities. Like the material side of this table cannot be the source of being a table, but it is made out of a table, out of this material. But by whom? The one who decided to make in this way. So I think this way, only this way that we keep the universe and any part of the universe alive. Otherwise, nowadays, unfortunately, material science, materialist people turn the universe as dead matter. Isn't it amazing? What do you say, Randy? It's an amazing they do that. Matter doesn't mean anything, doesn't have any quality. I mean, quality they have, but doesn't show the quality of its maker. They don't read it in this way. That is, I'm amazed with this argument that the Qur'an says human beings are going to cause corruption and bloodshed. Of course, we understand not everybody does this. What God is warning us. You have this tendency, oh reader. Be careful about this tendency. We have this side, don't we? So all those people, alhamdulillah, you are not, that's what you are here. But those people deny the creator. They are doing it. They are human beings as well. We have to be careful. I must take notice of my human quality, not to turn everything into a meaningless dead corpse matter. So while we are interacting with anything, what we should be aware of, this is delicious. Now, food is in my mind, don't worry. It's not only you. So food is in my mind. So it is delicious, but this taste needs to be created by whom? Smell needs to be created by whom? By matter itself, producing smell, producing by matter. Does it have any ability to choose to be the source of existence of all these perfect qualities? For example, when you have, let's say an example, an orange. Who arranged it? Who designed it? Do you think the matter is designing it? Matter is really designing the color, designing the wrapping up, the peel, and inside putting in segments, so that really cover it up with very thin, I don't know how is it called, very thin covering, so that it doesn't lose its vitamin, its freshness for a long time, protects it. When you cut it, you will see in 1 hour it gets blackened. blackened. So it means dying. They are protecting it. Who is the engineer of this world? We have to question and get the meaning from it, inshallah. So let's go, when we celebrate your praise and proclaim your holiday, so the holiness, and that means angels are speaking still, because the very fact that everything is proclaiming, whether I pay attention to it or not, I listen to it or not, everything is announcing the qualities of their maker. Even this machine, human-made, still it is announcing the qualities of its maker, but I may not pay attention to it. Then it is my mistake. What we are expected to do, to see this, that is to hear it, to pay attention to it. When I am having something, or even wearing this one, really I have to say, this material with this quality is created by the creator of the universe. I don't know whether it is what is made of. I have no idea. So let's say it is cotton. Hopefully it's cotton. So nowadays it is very rare to find pure cotton cloth material. Anyway, but cotton. Who created the cotton? Out of what? This earth is so clever. Creates cotton, or be the source of existence of cotton at the same time, orange at the same time, I don't know, pepper at the same time, cucumber, and design the same soil. It's interesting, but we know that the Quran says angels proclaim the qualities of the maker. It means angelic side, which is a very Quranic word. We may not really take it serious. The Quranic word is melekutiyetis samawat, depending on the context. And samawat wal melekutiyet side of the creation. What does it mean? Melekutiyet side of the creation. Angelic side of the creation. So angelic side of the creation announces it, because angels are transforming it from the absolute quality into a limited this world. Now that is a very interesting subject, but we have to just say that the angels are proclaiming the qualities of its creator by demonstrating what the work they do here, or they transform here, and we are expected to join them. So everything says, my creator is absolutely great one. I have to say, as a human being, responding back, yes, Allahu Akbar. Yeah, they say, my creator has no shortcomings at all. Everything he does is perfect. Subhanallah. My creator, all the qualities in the creation, announces his qualities, declares his qualities, and praises it. That means the creator of the universe in his knowledge must be absolute. In his power must be absolute. In his will must be limitless. Yeah, I say, Alhamdulillah. When we say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we have to bear in mind that we are saying each being in its existence demonstrates that only the one who creates the universe can be my creator. Did you understand this relationship? If someone or something does not or is not able to create the universe, cannot create the fly or an orange. Why? Everything is created or coming into existence in a complete connection integrated with each other. No one can say, even we, can we say that I can exist without the sun? I can exist without the atmosphere. I can exist without the light and the seeing and hearing abilities. We are always directly connected with the rest of the universe. So the one, if you like, I'm using a little bit secular language, my engineer must know what is going on in the whole universe. That is why Qur'an says, hey, be careful, reader. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You know that, praise be to the Lord of all the world. It means Lord of the universe. All right. Why? Because we cannot isolate any being as its own existence by itself, nothing to do with the rest of the universe. We cannot do that. So inshallah, we will continue and say that Allah will reply them, say that, no, I know things you don't know. So I will explain to you now. Okay. All right. And now, another verse from Surah 32, Sajda. الذي أحسن كل شيء خلقه وبدأ خلق الإنسان من طين. Who makes most excellent everything that he creates. What does it mean? Can we say that as a fly, one fly is a fly? Whatever you can think of it. For example, if you have most people have a cat as pet in their house. So you can think that a cat, or anybody you see, anything in the creation, maybe a tree out there, you see that. The Quran says it is most excellent. Anything cannot be better than what we can think. That is a very Islamic theology, by the way. So almost all Muslim scholars agreed on this point. Nothing can be better than as it is created in the world. I say, look, but something goes on. For example, I die, yeah? Even my death is excellent death. The one who gave me life manifests it. You know, the virus which we were complaining about, okay, we have to protect ourselves from this. That is our responsibility. But we have to know that in order to create this virus, which kills human beings, although we cannot even see them, you have to be able to create everything. They know human body. They know living body. They know how to feed on it. They know how to reproduce. Become multiply. Who can do that? With these qualities, who is creating it? The perfect one. So we don't like it is different from their existence. We have to know. Existence of something is completely different from I like it or I don't like it. I have to protect myself from virus, but I can have no way to complain and claim that existence of virus is very bad. The one who created it for a purpose. Try to understand it. And no one else can create one virus. Nothing else in the universe can create one virus. So we have to understand that who makes most excellent everything that he creates. Thus he begins the creation of man out of clay. So we have to understand that Allah speaks in the Quran according to my observation. So we have to pay attention to, but I can't do it here. I think this doesn't allow me. وَبَدَأَ خَلْقَ الْإِنسَانِ مِنْ طِينٍ. What does it mean? He begins the creation of man out of clay. He begins. What does it mean? No one can start the existence of it. Only the one who speaks in the Qur'an, who is the Lord of the whole universe, who is the one who created the whole universe. Everything in it is created by him. That is the Qur'an. When the Qur'an says, oh, then made his offspring from a drop of humble fluid, as if God needs a humble fluid to create it. Who created the humble fluid? We understand. Usually it's called eggs or sperms or something. So Quran uses very kind and respectful language. So he says, out of clay, but you see that they are created by using something, but it doesn't mean that they are making it. For example, my typical example is the table. Practical, very practical. Look at the table. There are materials used in it. Do you think the materials are making the table? Of course, there are two phrases are very important. They are made of something. They are made by something. Completely different directions. You notice that? Completely different directions. Made of, yes, there is a maker. And who used table material, whatever it is, let's say plastic. Who used plastic? But made by is another question. By whom? Not the plastic, but the designer. Where is it? When I look at the table, my conclusion is very simple. Very simple. It must have an architect or designer. It must have a designer. What does this statement represent? Belief. It represents belief. Will you start from me? Okay, thank you very much. All right, I appreciate it. So it must have a designer. That is belief. We have to know that we are all aware that when I say I believe in God, I mean not that I know God the Creator, but I believe that He must exist. That is belief. Do you see the difference between knowing God and believing in God? So belief, the Quran describes it as belief can only happen in ghaib. It means unknown. Shall we stop?
Can everyone just move in? Because people are going to be trickling in as we get closer.
No, yeah. Entrance is becoming really stuffy. Or we can use the example of date. So this is good. Thank you very much. Just comfortable, inshallah. Yep. Now, one of the yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. One of the most amazing ayah verse of the Quran is this. We have to pay attention to this. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. What does it mean? And he, God, taught Adam all the names. What is the meaning of names in the Quran? Asma'ul Husna. Asma'ul Husna, the qualities of the Creator. God's qualities. So Allah says in this verse, I taught Adam. Adam, who's Adam? Everyone. Everyone represents me. We call it our father. It means the first man created on earth and represents, I represent him now. So Adam means I have to take it for myself, saying that it doesn't mean that there is no Adam, Prophet Adam created on earth. No, this is the example of Adam, the Prophet Adam, and the Quran is teaching me in his example to let me know who I am. So he taught Adam, so the God is speaking to me, said, I taught Adam. Why does it tell me that he taught Adam if it is not related to me? That is, I love reading the Quran in this way. If it is not related to me, what is the point? God taught Prophet Adam the names, all the names. What shall I do? He died, I don't know how many thousands years ago. None of my business. Why do you tell me this? No, I'm telling you, it is directly related to you, to me. So I taught Adam all the names. It means we are taught all the names of the Creator. It means, what does it mean? It's an amazing verse. Really, it is an amazing verse. We have to really appreciate this teaching. God is telling me, I have given you the quality to understand all my names. How? You are given this ability. Just learn, use it. The more you use it, the more aware you become. So how are we going to learn? How are we going to use this and make my human qualities activated? How can I do that? Practicing. Here is the date. And when the time comes, the first I will be starting eating. So, well, look at this sweet design. And it is grown on a tree, wood, on a wood. They picked up there and went through the wood. And all these processes are perfectly arranged. Can we study and learn it? Can we learn it? We can study, learn how the tree is grown and how it became dried like this and how it became sweet. All the processes. In fact, when I study biology, when I study chemistry, when I study physics, zoology, botany, whatever, what am I studying? How they come into existence. Perfect, isn't it? So when I will ask the question, who is making it? This is the only difference from secularist mind and believer's mind. Secularist mind, look how it is doing it. I don't know how. Believer's mind, oh, it is becoming into existence in this way, manifesting the qualities in it. Human beings are given the tools to detect these qualities, saying that only the one who created the tree, palm tree can create this. What else? Only the one who created the season can create the tree. Only the one who created the atmosphere can create the tree and the climate. Oh, goes and goes and goes. What we understand from there, the qualities of the creator is many-folded way are manifesting themselves to me, and I can learn it. But the only thing is, I should not kill it, as the previous verse said. It means dead, meaningless, no significance in their existence. What I have to do, no, there are meaning in it. I have to read the meaning because I can read it. But if I don't use my qualities in order to understand or realize the qualities of the creator manifested in the things, I won't be aware of it. That is called ignorance. The Qur'an says jahal, jahil. So in the period of jahal, before the Prophet ﷺ was employed to convey the message in this world. Yeah. Okay. People were in ignorance. Why? They were not reading the meaning, the qualities of the creator in it. They were not using their qualities. For example, if you ask me, do you know Chinese? I say, I am ignorant of Chinese. I know even one word. I don't know even one word. Why? Not because I cannot speak Chinese, because I didn't study. I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't use and make my ability to learn Chinese activated. It is there. Allah says, I taught you, me, all the names, including Adam as well, as a human being. Human qualities are manifested there. Then presenting them to the angels. Okay, then he said, tell me the names of those if you are right. Human beings' capacity is so comprehensive. We can understand all the qualities of the creator, but angels only can know one, what the duty is given to them. So it is the matter of, do we have to do anything? Shall we stop slowly? Yeah. Okay. It is interesting that we have to try our best to use our own qualities. Not everybody will not study biology, physics, botany, everything, chemistry, but at least whatever we study, we have to see, investigating the existence of this date, we can get all the qualities of its maker. That is what human qualities, human capacities. That is what this verse is teaching me. You are given the ability, try to utilize it as much as possible. So pay attention to it, pay attention to it. Inshallah, we will take this kind of teachings of the Quran and relate it to our practical life and apply it, inshallah. May Allah accept your prayers and fasting, inshallah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Shall we stop it?
If you don't have a date, if we can just move into, because there's a crowd of people just sitting in the hallway.
Bismillah.
If you don't have a date, just raise your hand so one of the volunteers can get it too. If you just keep your hand up and someone will bring you a date. You can go ahead. Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله رب العالمين. May Allah accept your fastings, your prayers, inshallah. Thank you very much. Ve sallallahu ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve sellem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.